Hey Don, can you take this picture for us?
What are you thinking at the beginning of the fight?
It's simple. Am I gonna hurt him before he hurts me? When hard things hit you, how do you handle it? The smashing machine. Let's see. Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. This week we got to see The Smashing Machine, directed by Benny Safdie, starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Emily Blunt, and Ryan Bader. And this week we got a new segment called Potty Time. If you need to use the restroom in this movie, leave about 45 minutes into it. Not much going on into this a little bit over 2-hour movie. The opening statement from Mark Kerr, who's played by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, is a chilling, amusing, and even wild take on what MMA is at the time. The film immediately immerses you into the brutality and absurdity of the sport. Though the movie shot back in the 1900s, it feels almost older than that and almost a relic of a distant era. 1900s. That's funny to me. It was back in 1995 this film was set in. You know, the cinematography evokes a vintage feel, almost like a Japanese film in its pacing and texture. You know, all the actors give a really strong performance in this movie. Ryan Bader, who was an MMA fighter back in the day, surprised me with his acting ability, but Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, or the People's Eyebrow, I don't know how he does that, gave a really strong performance in this movie. He really demonstrates the long-term physical toll that the MMA can take on a body. And that's part of what this movie is about. Speaking of what this movie is about, it's about an MMA fighter back in the 90s, up until I think he retired in 2007. It's more about the struggles of drug addiction and relationships during the time that you're trying to train for a fight. There's a couple of standout scenes when we're talking about the comedic relief in this movie, because there is a little bit of tension built up in it between the characters. But Dwayne's character, there's two that just made me crack up. One, he mentions about how this soap is affecting his hair, which we all know The Rock is bald, so that's kind of where I came across the funny part of that. And then there's another scene where his girlfriend's picking him up and they get into a Mercedes-Benz convertible, and it's just so funny how Dwayne just takes up 3/4 of that car. It's just, it's amusing. You know, with Dwayne's performance in this movie, moving away from a typical action star into a more dramatic role, I would say he did a really good job. There's been a lot of talk about Oscar nominations for this. I'm not sure it's quite that worthy of winning that, but it definitely fits in the nominees. So overall, I was entertained with this movie. Not one of the best movies I've seen all year, but definitely one of the top 10 for sure. And you know, while watching this movie, it really reminded me of 2 Corinthians 4, 8-9, where it says, "We are hard pressed on every side by troubles, but we are not crushed. We are perplexed, but not driven to despair. We are hunted down, but never abandoned by God. We get knocked down, but we are not destroyed." You know, I think that scripture really speaks to Mark's character and how hard he works, even though when things seem to be pushing in on him on all sides. It just shows his perseverance through his life. Hey, did you know that Mark Kerr earned his nickname The Smashing Machine after breaking an opponent's orbital bone with a headbutt in a brutal 30-minute fight? It happened in Brazil during a championship, where Mark's relentless style left the audience stunned and cemented his legend. Now you know. Hey, don't forget about sneak peeks. This week we got to see The Roof Man coming out October 10th. The Bride, March 6th. After the Hunt, October 17th. The Housemaid, December 19th. Black Phone 2, October 17th. Marty Supreme coming around Christmas time. And then we also had Eternity in November. So until next time, let's see.
Do you have for me that's strong?
Advia?
Dawn, would you like?
No.
They're handing them out like candy.